by now.
Wait for the pause. Usually during the pause is when my cat breaks something.
Sam, I'm on the East Coast. This is past my bedtime.
I thought you were on the West Coast right now.
No, I'm in Florida.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
And I already cursed. My bad. All right. I'll start us off. Welcome to the Fantasy Debate with Sam and Tate, brought to you by Fantasy Focused and the Original Hooters. Derek is out for the night, and I am very grateful to be joined by Ryan Levy from the Fantasy Focused podcast. So glad to have you. And what we were just saying, thank you for joining us on such a late time on the East Coast.
Yeah, no problem. I'm excited to be on the show. It's been a while since I've joined you.
Yeah, it's been a minute. So, hope everything's well with you. I mean, we're right there in the thick of things with the playoffs. I know you're in like 100 leagues minimum every year. So how many of them did you make playoffs this year?
I think of the 16 paid leagues, I am in the semis and 9. So I'm feeling pretty good.
That's pretty good. So if you cleaned up, what's the most you could make?
Well, I'll tell you, one of my leagues is 4 figures. So it could be a lot. Probably, I don't know, maybe like 10 grand.
Jeez. All right. So when are you going to take us to the next game we can all go to? Fantasy event. Oh my gosh, it'd be amazing.
I got to win them all, though. Need your help.
Oh, yeah. I'll definitely try and help you out. I mean, as much as I can. Guys, thank you for joining us. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and sound off in the comments. Ryan and I will get to them as soon as they populate. So fire away any of your questions as we just bring us into week 15. I mean, for myself, I know coming out of this past week, I was one of the people that got a little bit screwed on the Josh Jacobs thing. We had this discussion before the game. It hurt so much because I was up in that league Sunday night by 6 points. It's an IDP league, and at midnight is when they add something called stuffs to IDP players. Okay. Stuffs are when a defensive player tackles a running back or some sort of other offensive player behind the line of scrimmage. So those get added later.
Wow.
I had 1 added, and my opponent had 3 added. So I lost by 0.7 points.
No.
I'm still so gutted. I actually think the reason I haven't gone to the gym all week is because I'm so depressed.
I've never even heard of this. So when you and I were texting with Tate, and you thought you won, you got screwed by a stat correction at midnight because of a stuff?
Yes. Because of multiple.
Oh, no. I didn't even know this was a thing. So is this like a manual ad by your commissioner, or is this like a new thing that I need to learn about in fantasy football?
From what my other league mates have told me, because they're trying to assure me that there was no shisty behavior on anyone's part to add these magical points that made me lose. It's something that ESPN, because it's a newer stat, they don't do it live. So it's something that they go back and add on like Sunday nights. And if there's more in the Monday night game, that's when they add them.
Wow, you kind of just blew my mind. I only play in 1 IDP league, and this is my first year doing it. I am in the playoffs, so I'm feeling good, but wow, I might have to look into that next year.
Yeah, and I guess not every IDP league does stuffs, because I'm going to say that they just suck. But from my personal experience, they definitely suck.
Yeah, that's an interesting stat. Man, I thought you were going to tell me that, we both screwed up and started Jacobs.
Yes.
And both won because I advanced. I don't have any stuffing going on in my league, but
no, it's horrible. And then what sucks too is I could have started Adrian Peterson. If I had, he would have given me just the bump I needed to get me over the hump. But c'est la vie. I'll just, I'll cry myself to sleep a couple more nights this week and I'll get over it.
Oh. But are you going championship list this year, Sam?
Yeah, it is hard. It is not a good feeling. Just crying myself to sleep every night.
Oh, man. I'll win one for you.
Yeah, thanks. I really appreciate that. Can you win the $10,000 and then just give me your winnings? That'll make me feel better for all the leagues that I've lost.
Yes, I'll send you something nice. Maybe some Rams gear.
Yeah, Rams gear is good. Or some, fantasy focused hat is good too. I'll take that.
I promise you I'm getting them made while I'm home here in Florida. I will send you one.
Okay, good. Although I know that someone that is a fantasy focused favorite, Tyler Higbee's doing so well. I wouldn't mind a Higbee jersey.
Ooh, there we go. Okay, now we're talking. I actually have something to show you later in the show. Some Rams gear I just won. It's nice. Quite nice. It's from your boy Bob Woods.
I love Bobby Woods. He nearly won me this week. If he had almost another catch, I probably would have won, but I can't ask more of him. He's been fantastic to me. Just going to say a quick hi to you guys joining us. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Will. Hey, guys, need some help for this week. In the last 4, please help. Absolutely, Will. Please let us know what players you are deliberating on, and we will answer those questions for you. Fred Lee, always joining us. Thanks for joining. Hey, how's it
What's
going?
up, buddy?
BN Dried Ocean. Hey guys, I made it to the semifinals. I'm done asking Alan or Breeze questions. This guy's asked us the same question every week, and it's been super fun because every week we don't know who to actually start. If Jacobs is not good to go, do I go with Hunt or Washington in PPR?
I'm going Hunt for sure. Hunt's been great in PPR formats. He's as consistent as they come.
Yeah, I'm going to agree and make that a really easy choice for you there, BN Dried Ocean. Definitely go with Hunt of those two. And I mean, you know, the Breezer Allen question, just let that one go this week.
Right.
Yes. Fredley with one for us. Josh Allen or Fitzmagic at QB. Allen's calendar for playoffs doesn't look good. I agree with that. I don't know. I'm going to throw that one to you. Which one are you leaning towards?
I'm a little concerned about Devontae Parker being banged up. I mean, he's got a concussion. Hopefully, I mean, he did practice today in a non-contact jersey, so that's a positive thing.
No, definitely. As far as like their schedule on getting players back from concussions, that is a good step to see him actually on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm a Fitzmagic guy. I love Fitzmagic. I do not like the matchup for Josh Allen this week by any means against your Steelers. That Steelers defense is for real. Hate to say it. I mean, Tomlin should be coach of the year, in my opinion, with all the injuries they've had. I really respect the guy. But
dude, he has done a lot with very, very little. You have to give the credit where credit is due. And I keep having people make fun of my Steelers and how they're performing. And I'm like, we are doing so well with so little. We're literally making you a magical, you know, Fabergé egg out of sticks and leaves. Like we're making magic out of nothing.
Yes, absolutely. So I guess if in a vacuum this week, Fredley, I'm still going to go Fitzmagic. He's got the better matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to agree with you there.
The ball. He scrambles. That guy is just like, you know, his hair's on fire when he's playing out there. He's awesome. I love watching him play.
His hair's on fire. His beard's on fire. He's just on fire. Victor J's with one for us. He always tunes in every week. Thank you, Victor.
Yeah.
Survived another playoff week. I'm very proud of you. I'm very excited. I need 7 points from Barkley on Monday Night Football, and he put up 8.2. Do you trust Barkley against Miami? I've heard a couple different things about Barkley this week, and it's one, could he be fantasy football's biggest bust of the year based on where you drafted him? And is he more dinged? Is he still just playing on that dinged up leg and just hobbling through? I don't know. I mean, I think it depends on your other options, but it's just, I feel like you got to start Barkley because you'll kick yourself if you don't, but you don't have the confidence you normally should.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's the old saying, right? You got to ride the horse that got you there. I mean, I know he hasn't necessarily gotten you to where you are, but you are in the semis at this point.
Absolutely.
And it's Saquon Barkley. We know what he's capable of. It doesn't feel great, but what are you going to do? I mean, you're going to start Patrick Laird over him? I mean, what is the scenario? You're going to start AP over him? I'm not. I'm just never going to do that. The talent, he's still the most talented running back in the league, in my opinion. I guess the bigger question, going into the offseason, I'm curious to see if he's still a top 3 player next year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think next year in next year's draft, we might see him drop a little bit on boards. But yeah, it makes it hard because you have to also just match up who you're going against and who they're starting their best. I mean, if you can afford, you don't know who you're playing against. I mean, in the playoffs, maybe their running backs aren't as stacked. Maybe you can take a risk, but I don't know that this is the time to do that. Man, we got so many questions. I'm so excited to get to all of these.
You guys are all winners. You're all still hanging in there. I love it.
Yes. Mark with one for us. Really a tough choice at QB playoffs. Can y'all help me, please? Absolutely. Throw them in there and we'll get to them. Let's see. He's got Lamar Jackson or Dwayne Haskins. I mean, Lamar Jackson is dinged up, but I would take a dinged up Lamar Jackson over Dwayne Haskins any day.
Yeah, I don't know that there's many quarterbacks in the NFL that are worse than Dwayne Haskins. I am not a fan by any means. I'll take Lamar Jackson on one leg over a fully healthy Dwayne Haskins.
Absolutely. And I feel like this is being sarcastic, Mark. He said, or do I start Big Ben? No, you're going to start Lamar Jackson. Things will be just fine.
Obviously, make sure you tune in like 20 minutes before the game starts to make sure he's playing. Don't do what Sam and I did with Jacobs.
To be fair, I mean, West Coast time, that was the 1 o'clock game, and I was just rolling the dice because we do know he's playing with a very hurt shoulder. Is it a broken shoulder or separated shoulder? I don't remember which one, but I figured he'd played on it before, so he should be okay. I guess this week he was just like, I'm going to sit at this one out and just ruin Sam's day. But
yeah, I hear you.
Will Hayes with one for us, Allen or Cousins, or should I pick up Manning or Trubisky? I don't know how I feel about any of those.
It's Cousins for me. I think he's been playing pretty solid.
Cousins is more consistent. I like the matchup better for him against the Chargers. Chargers are just hot and cold all year, I feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, they're either completely getting trounced by teams or they're actually putting up big numbers and it becomes a high-scoring game on both sides. So I think that you got to kind of go with that one just for consistency's sake. I mean, Manning didn't do terrible this week, so that was great for him, but I still like the odds better for Cousins than the other three.
Yeah, I agree.
Will Jenkins always here, and Will is like our PR for the show, and I love him. Every week he's just adding people, hey, tune in this week, fantasy debate. What are you doing with your life if you're not tuning in? So thank you all for that.
Big Will, that's my guy. He's always tuning in on Sunday mornings too. Big supporter. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no, he's been awesome. Roscoe with one for us, Mahomes or Tannehill?
Ooh, I really like Tannehill, but I'm not benching Patty Mahomes.
No, yeah, for sure. But I'm kicking myself because last week I didn't pick up Tannehill off waivers in my Dynasty League, and I should have just because I could have gotten him cheap, and we're going to be going 2 QB next year. I don't know what I was doing. I think I just ended up getting off work late, and that's why I didn't do it because our waivers close late. But
wow, Dynasty League, he was available.
Yeah, he was somehow still there, and I'm like, wait, I had to second guess it, but he was still there, and then I missed it. So what are you gonna do? It's just not been my year.
Fully revitalized his career. It's been awesome to see. I mean, the Dolphins just doing Dolphins things, letting a guy like that go.
Absolutely, but also it really goes to show just how good the Titans were capable of being. We all knew they were capable of being, and also just how bad Mariota was for that system.
Right. I have a question for you, Sam. Is Derrick Henry a top 5 fantasy pick next year?
Absolutely.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's finally here. The time has come.
His time has come. He's here to stay, I believe, especially with this offense, with this team. I think that he's just going to have a great year next year too. I mean, I think that he's someone we all slept on in the preseason.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah. So not going to happen next year. So hopefully if you have him in your Dynasty Leagues, you hold on tight. Victor J's with one for us. OJ Howard or Gesicki in half-point PPR?
It's Gesicki for me, and I'm a Bucs fan.
That says a lot. I mean, OJ Howard doesn't instill much confidence in even the coaching staff.
Yeah, I mean, I think OJ Howard's an athletic freak, and I love the guy, and the talent's there. But for whatever reason, this year, Arians and Leftwich can't find a way to get him the ball consistently. I mean, he's shown flashes lately, but Gesicki's, he's a major target for Fitzmagic, and especially if Parker's out, I could see Gesicki having his biggest game of the year this week, especially in that matchup.
Definitely. I definitely agree with you there. Great matchup. If Parker's out, he's going to be a huge target, so he's definitely going to feast on those fantasy points. Another one from Will. Pick 2. Singletary, Laird, Freeman, or Washington? I feel like my gut says to just immediately go Singletary and Freeman between these 4.
Yeah, I mean, Singletary's hands down. I got to get him in there because as Bucky would say, the requisite touches are guaranteed for Mr. Singletary now. They're finally giving him the ball. He had a tough matchup last week. Still decent game. I'm going to go Freeman. I mean, Freeman scored last week and doesn't really have anyone to compete with there, so let it ride.
Absolutely. Yeah, no competition there. Both high volume, both higher floor for me for sure. Tyler always joining us. Thank you for joining us, Tyler. Fantasy Focus. Good evening, Sam, and welcome, Ryan. Thank you, Tyler.
Thanks, man.
Another one of our awesome followers that's always hitting us up with amazing questions and, just wonderful support. We have awesome listeners here, and it makes me so happy.
Love it.
It's awesome. Fredley, all 5 leagues playing in playoffs. Thanks for your advice. You are so welcome, and that is awesome that you made playoffs in all of your leagues.
Absolutely killing it. And Sam, Fredley is coming all the way from Puerto Rico for the live show on the 22nd for Fantasy Football Championship Sunday.
Really?
Yes. Maybe you should fly out for the day.
Oh, yeah, that's the one that you guys were saying that I need to get out there for. I might have to.
Right before Christmas, though, so I know the timing is not ideal. But Bucky, Tate, and I are covering his beers, and hopefully we're celebrating some championships with Fredley.
Oh, that sounds so awesome. I mean, if I can't make it out, I definitely want to see some awesome pictures because that sounds amazing.
You know it.
AK-41, do I start Michael Thomas or Amari Cooper? I think that says a lot that you're asking between those two. Let's see. I mean,
it's easy for me because Amari Cooper is probably going to be getting the Jalen Ramsey treatment.
It's true.
And he's banged up, as always. I'm going Michael Thomas. I mean, your team must be absolutely stacked if you're making this decision.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, you got to go Michael Thomas between the two. Man, that's crazy. It's, you know what? It must be like a 10-team league or something. And it drives me nuts when I don't have these kinds of options that I get to go back and forth between.
All right. That's a serious flex right there, AK-41.
Yeah, not really fair. Tommy Garrett, hey everyone, how are you guys doing? Made it to the conference finals in the SFB 9. That's the Scott Fish Bowl, right? I think so. Grab Perriman and Watson on waivers. Group think looks like people are leaning to BP. What are your guys' thoughts on them?
I can tell you what's up, Tommy, by the way. Great golf swing. I always comment that when he's in the live show on Sundays. Yeah, for me, it's Perryman. I lost Evans in the Fantasy Focus Listeners League, which I'm playing in the semifinals of the super 28-man league. So I'm starting Perryman. He looked good last week when he came in, and former #1 pick. Guy's a freak. He's a talent. Jameis will chuck it up there. Jameis will throw 3 picks, but also throw a lot of touchdowns. So,
oh, absolutely. That's one thing you can hang your hat on with Winston is not just the interceptions that he's going to throw, but that it's a high volume and he's going to see a lot of targets. So I definitely will agree with you there on going with Perriman. I mean, just looking last 2 weeks, he's had 6 targets in 13, 5 targets this past week, and he's averaged about 75 yards the last 2 weeks. So, I mean, you got to go with who's good right now at Detroit. You got to like that. Let's see. Next one, Tyler, looking ahead to 16. Would Tampa Bay's defense be better for week 16 than the Bills or the Packers? Jumping ahead, Tyler.
I'm actually playing the Bucs defense this week in a couple leagues. So, I mean, they're playing better. I mean, I know last week they gave up a lot of points, but it's also because of a lot of turnovers, the offense. So, yeah, I mean, I like the Bucs. Pick them up. I'm not crazy about the Packers D. I do like the Bills defense, except they're kind of susceptible to the run. So, it's tough for me between the Bucs and the Bills. Any thoughts there, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, the Bucs have New England in week 16. Don't like that.
No. This week
at all.
Like it, though.
This week, yes. Next week, no. Packers at Minnesota, like a little bit better because I feel like because it's kind of one of those grudge matches, you could see them being real tough against Minnesota.
You're saying so the Bills have the Pats next week. That's not ideal.
No, that is not ideal and something that I would actually try and get away from. And Tampa Bay has Houston. I kind of like that matchup of those 3 the best.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Although I do love how Tyler's always so on top of things, getting after questions a week ahead.
That's the heart of a champion right there.
Absolutely. That's how you win. You play to win the game. And his head is always in the game, which I love. Victor, pick 2 running backs, half-point PPR, Barkley, Mostert, Aaron Jones, Mack, or Singletary.
Holy cow, Victor. Yeah. This guy's always flexing on us. He's got the best teams. It's unbelievable.
Has to be a 10-team league. Has to.
I mean, I got to bench Mack and Singletary for sure. I mean, I like all these players. Don't get me wrong, but I was talking. I was just talking to Bucky about this. Raheem Mostert is unbelievable, and Shanahan came out and said yesterday he's the guy. He's forced his hand. He's the #1 guy there.
I mean, he's
Falcon.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, oof. I do love how he's been playing. He's been so dependable, and he's so big play. I almost want to go Mostert and Aaron Jones, or is that weird?
I'm actually gonna go with Mostert and Barkley. I know Jones had a monster game last week. The Bears defense is still respectable.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go Barkley and Mostert. This is crazy.
It's crazy. Is it crazy? Is it whoa crazy?
You know, you gotta have some balls here in week 15. I hate to say it.
Yeah, you kind of do. I get that for sure. I mean, yeah.
Can you get Mostert in your flex at least? I mean, if you want to go Jones, Barkley, and Mostert in the flex.
Yeah, I like that. Like, don't make us just pick two. Why do you gotta make us just pick two out of that kind of lineup? That's not fair.
That lineup's ridiculous.
Will Jenkins with another one for us. Half-point PPR. Pick two. Debo, John Brown, Kirk, AJ Brown, Slayton, Landry, or Boyd. Long list, Will. What are you doing to us?
John Brown, I'm not playing. I've been fading him for weeks. He's got a tough matchup. Mm-hmm. Your boy Minka's gonna pick Joshie Allen at least once.
At least once. One can only hope. Let's see. Debo, John Brown.
I got to get Debo in here for sure. What about you?
Yeah, I like having Debo in there. I think I'm just going back and forth between Slayton's just been so hot lately. It's in my notes here to talk about a bit later, but I'm torn between Slayton and Landry, honestly. I like Debo, but then for the last one, those are the two I'm going back and forth on.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Landry and Debo. It just still, I agree with you on Slayton. It's tough to bench him, but right now we're still talking about Eli, and the matchup that he had last week just doesn't get any easier than Philly.
No, definitely not. And Landry's at Arizona, so that's a good matchup at the very least. The only thing is he's a little bit questionable, so definitely watch the inactives as they come up this weekend, and that should definitely help. Fredley with one for us. I think this one's for you. Bud Light, Coors, or Miller at Hooters?
It's always Coors Light. Coors Light runs in my blood, no doubt, Fredley.
You would get along with my friend Craig. He wanted to sponsor one of our award shows by Coors. He actually wore one of those big, it's a giant Coors hat the whole day. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
Victor with another one. Is the Sony Michel era over? He's got a great matchup against the Bengals, but I just can't stomach the thought of him in my lineup. I don't blame you there. That definitely is a rough one.
I mean, he's one of my guys that, I mean, he had a good matchup last week too. I don't feel comfortable playing him either, but it depends on, I guess if you're just asking in general, it might be over, or maybe it's just the Pats dynasty is starting to come to an end, because I still believe in him as a player, but I mean, night and day, what he's looked this year in comparison to last year, just doesn't look the same out there.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's a good matchup this week at Cincinnati. They're definitely a team that can be run on and completely exploited. But if you have other options, I would weigh on the other options just because he has diminished his value.
Oh, yeah.
And Friendly agrees with us. Derrick Henry could be a top 3 running back.
Is that going to be one of those scenarios, though, where we all regret it? You know, next year he's the guy that everyone drafts in the top 5, and you know, we're having this conversation at this time next year and just hating every minute of it.
I mean, it's entirely possible because it's fantasy football, and usually that's how the gods play us. But
yes.
I mean, we never know. Will Hayes with one bringing up our boy Tyler Higbee or Jack Doyle this week.
I mean, you got to ride the hot hand. I love Jack Doyle, but it doesn't get any better than Higbee right now. I mean, he is top-notch tight end. Hopefully Everett's still out. I believe he is. I'm not 100% sure. You'd know more about that than me being out there, but yeah, Higbee.
He's shaping up to still be out this week. At Dallas, good matchup there. I mean, I think that he's just proven himself to be worth the money he was paid this year. He's just averaging so many receptions. That's an average of 6.5 receptions last 3 weeks?
Yeah.
He's had huge games. Last 2 games were over 100 yards. You kind of got to go with that one there for me. Yeah, easy choice there. Got to be Tyler Higbee.
There we go.
Our boy, Tyler Higbee. Loving it. BN Dried Ocean. With Julio, tough matchup. Is it worth benching him for Chark, especially with Minshew back?
I think Chark's out for the year or something, isn't he?
I thought so. I'm going to double check it.
I had it written down earlier that he was out.
He's just questionable, actually.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm going Julio. I mean, I'm not going to bench Julio in the fantasy semifinals. I know the matchup's tough. He's elite. And I
He's
know,
elite.
you know, it's been inconsistent this year, but we're still talking about Julio Jones here in comparison to a banged up Chark. So I'm out on Chark.
Yeah, he went out banged up this week, and I know that Calvin Ridley's out, isn't he?
Ridley's out for the year.
Yeah, he's out for the year. So, I mean, if anything, that just helps Julio so much because he's been eating up so many of his targets. So I think that you've just got to start Julio this week. For sure. And then Victor with another one for us. You guys, all these questions are awesome. Thank you for tuning in and for always sticking around the whole show. We appreciate you guys so much.
Coming.
Yes. Victor saying, Amari Cooper was the horse that got me here, but I do have options. Slayton, Pascal, Gallup, or Anthony Miller. Which 2 wide receivers would you pick? I mean, I do like what Pascal's been doing. I do like Gallup. Anthony Miller, man. Let's talk a little bit about him and how he's been doing the last couple of weeks.
That's my guy.
He's a little bit back, isn't he? My goodness. I mean, he's their rookie, right?
Second-year player. He was drafted out of Memphis last year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason I know so much about Anthony Miller, because Tate is obsessed with him and made me watch his film.
That's why he sounds so familiar.
That's my guy, though. If I have all these receivers right now, I'm going to go Amari Cooper and Anthony Miller.
Yeah, I like that matchup a lot, too. And at Green Bay, I mean, Green Bay's defense has been good, but I mean, as their second receiver, he stands to really benefit by, you know, Allen Robinson picking up all of the looks and, or I should say all the coverage. So I think that that's a really good duo of the two, doing Anthony Miller and Amari Cooper. Gotta love that.
I mean, the Bears kind of figured it out finally. It looks like Mitch doesn't look as terrible.
It's like they had to just threaten everyone's jobs and say, we're literally going to fire all of you and bench all of you. And they're like, oh, okay. I think we can play football now.
Right. It's just sad, you know, with that defense that they're likely not going to make the playoffs. But yeah, I'm really big on Anthony Miller and the AR-12, if you will, and Allen Robinson.
I like it. As a Bills fan, is it messed up if I start the Steelers defense? No,
it's never messed up. You just play to win, man.
Play to win. You put biases aside. However, I am not really one to talk, as I never draft Cincinnati Bengals players or Browns players. So that's just, you just know what side of the line you're on. Right. And I never have to worry about that back and forth every week because I don't have any of those players. It makes my life easier, less stressful. With Tim Westby with one for us. Hi guys, 13-1 in 2 leagues. Thanks to y'all on Sunday. Missed on Tannehill. I have Kyler. Should I stick with Kyler or go with Baker or Brady?
Wait, so you said you missed on Tannehill, meaning you missed on picking him up, I guess is what he's saying?
I think so.
I'm not a big Kyler guy. What do you think, Sam?
I mean, I like him. I think he has good volume and a good floor, but he's not quite at where the others are.
I'm gonna go with Baker this week, man. I mean, it's not Brady for me. You know, he's got an elbow issue in this nap, but he's had it for a few weeks now. But I mean, Arizona's secondary is very bad.
Yeah, they are very bad. I mean, the Steelers did just go in there and win, so they're definitely exploitable. Yeah, I've honestly faded Baker in every single lead every week, but I actually like him this week with Arizona. I think that's a good matchup, and I would prefer.
I mean, I dropped Baker in a lot of leagues. I'm not going to lie, but
yeah,
I mean, this is the week to play him.
Yeah, you've held on to him this long. Might as well start him now. You know, no worry there.
Defense is respectable anyway, so I don't love Kyler's matchup this week.
Yes, absolutely. And Tyler clearing some stuff up for us. I'm asking ahead of time because it's for my league that I have a chance to repeat. Love it. If it's a chance to repeat, you got to ask all the good questions. 12-team PPR. I got Lamar, Godwin, Thomas, Kelsey, Jones, and Fournette as starters. Hashtag humble brag. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to love Godwin even more now that Evans is out.
Absolutely. I know. I was just going to ask you about that. How do you feel about Godwin this week? Do you think that, I mean, he's obviously clear-cut number 1 with Evans out, but as that result, do you feel like he's going to get more coverage or he's just going to eat up the targets?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to get more coverage without a doubt, but I think he's going to be force-fed targets for sure. And Rashard Perryman's he's a good player. He's a good athlete. I know he's never amounted to what everyone thought he was going to be, but he's respectable out there. So they're going to need to respect him. And we're still talking about the Detroit Lions this week, right? I mean,
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Detroit.
It's Detroit, which I feel like as a team, they've just found ways to lose each week. Like they're inventing ways for them to lose. Like other teams probably should be tanking. I feel like they try and then they get confused as to like which end of the field they're supposed to be aiming for.
Right.
It's kind of like, I thought you guys knew how this went. Like they go down that way, we go down that way. What are you doing? You're doing the opposite. Not exactly the best. But Victor is currently praying to the football gods that Lamar is good to go this week. What do you think? Do you think they're going to start Lamar? Do you think they're going to just roll the dice? I don't see them sitting him. I see them wrapping the leg up, just making sure everything's fine. Just don't run so much, kind of a scheme.
I mean,
what do you think?
I would be shocked if he didn't play. I mean, this guy means so much to the NFL right now.
And I know so much to this team, to the players, just alone. Just even have him out there. I think every play, they have amazing running backs that can completely run the ball for him. They have really great weapons that have totally opened up for him. I think that this is just going to be one where they say, hey, how about you don't try and break a record this game for rush yards?
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like I would temper expectations for Lamar this week, but I'm not saying to necessarily bench him because he's shown us that he can still do it through the air. So
yeah. The one thing that we all questioned last year, he has completely reversed for us.
Exactly. I just don't think I'd expect 100 yards on the ground from Lamar this week by any means.
No, tempered expectations, but still, it's Lamar Jackson, and he's been playing out of his mind.
Ooh.
Henry is the next David Johnson.
I don't know about it.
With the hot take. I don't know. I mean,
totally different type of player.
They're very different players, but also with David Johnson being so up and down this year, just in schemes, I wouldn't wish that upon Derrick Henry right now. He's finally just figured it out with his team, and like we were saying earlier, the Titans finally figured out how to utilize him properly, utilize their whole offense properly. And I mean, I think that they're just kind of on the up and up.
I agree. I mean, don't try to fix it if it's not broken, right, Sam?
Absolutely. I hear you cracking another Coors Light over there. I'm currently drinking Mango White Claw, so cheers. Every week we do tend to do a drinking game. I don't know if you've noticed that in our...
I did notice. You guys are crazy because I mean, I don't know how you go to work the next day after playing a drinking game on a Wednesday night.
To be fair, Derek definitely takes swigs with each drink, and I do polite little sips on each one because I know I need to work tomorrow and I need to just get through a drink. So I usually never drink more than 2 drinks when we're recording.
That's smart. Well, I'm working from home tomorrow, so I'll have a few with you tonight.
Oh, I appreciate that. Perfect. Tim with another one for us. Worried about Parker and Juju. Although Juju was just cleared today, he is going to be playing this weekend. PPR, please pick 2. Kirk, Gallup, Parker, Debo, Slayton, AJ, or Juju. I mean...
There's no way in hell that I'm playing Juju this week with Tre'Davious White on him. Tre'Davious White is such a G. He's so good. He's going to lock him down. Juju's going to have like 4 catches for 48 yards if he's lucky. I hate to say it, Sam.
I know. I'm just happy that he's healthy. Let me just have that. Can I just have that? Can I just have my wide receiver healthy? That's all I can
have it. You can definitely have it.
Because I'm out of the playoffs in all of my leagues, so I'm just going to be, over here. I mean, like I am every weekend, black and yellow, just cheering up and away. But so with basically eliminating Parker and Juju of this list, you've got Kirk, Gallup, Debo, Slayton, AJ. Where are you leaning of those to pick 2?
I love Debo. I know Emmanuel Sanders had a monster game last week, but the targets are still there for Debo, and he still went over 100 yards total with his rushing yards there. So I'm going Debo. If Parker plays, I'm going to play Parker. Mm-hmm. But if he doesn't, man, are you going to go Slayton or A.J. Brown? I'm going to go A.J. Brown because I trust the quarterback more.
Yeah, I like that. I was just going back and forth on Gallup as well, but I do like Debo and I do like AJ Brown. And what they've been putting together. And especially because, I mean, obviously can't say it enough, playoffs, you got to kind of go with who's been most consistent and not really get cute here. So I like.
Are you high on Gallup?
I mean, I like him. I wouldn't say I'm high.
Yeah, I just don't own a lot of shares of him this year. I mean, I feel like the talent is there. He's just a little too inconsistent for my liking.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great week this past week, but then they've got the Rams this week. So
Rams are good. Their defense has turned it around.
They have. And I think this is another situation where they literally sat down everyone like children and said, if you don't play well, you don't get to play.
Are you like a closet Rams fan or what?
No, I do like
you, right?
I have to be. They're the local team, and I do like the Rams. The first year they were back, I had season tickets. It was, again, in the last year of the Jeff Fisher era, so I did not get to watch many good games, but I do appreciate them and all that they put together.
Does that mean now that I live in the Bay Area, technically I'm not a bandwagon 49ers fan?
No, now it's a local team.
Or I guess technically I live in Oakland, though, so I should be a Raiders fan until next year.
Yeah, but then they're going to be moving, so I think it's just safer to just stay with the Niners.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I wasn't a bandwagon.
No, none of us ever want to be that. Absolutely. And then Nick, who's always in here with us, Tate looks a little different this week. Yeah, he does.
What's up, Nick? How are you, man?
Now, Ryan, do you do any impressions, or is that just completely Tate's wheelhouse?
I do not do any impressions. I am not good at that stuff, so sorry to disappoint.
You don't do any weird faces. You don't make your voice do anything weird.
I just win fantasy championships. That's all I'm here for, Sam.
That's like a nice burn, like a subtle burn on Derek right now, and I really like it. That's kind of amazing. Can we get that as a soundbite? Will Hayes won for us. PPR pick 3. Edelman, Diggs, Kupp, and Gallup. I mean, Edelman for sure.
I'm dropping Gallup out of those 4.
Yeah. I mean, I really want to know what's up with Adam Thielen. I mean, I feel like every week it's like, oh, he's good, he's not good. He's good, he's not good. So you got to just go with who you know is going to be playing and who is the obvious number one. And of this list, Edelman, Diggs, and Kupp are all automatic number ones in their lineups. So yeah, got to go with those 3.
I just wish that they would consistently throw to Kupp all the time. You know,
like they did last year.
Yeah, just all the time. I need it more, you know?
Give the people what they want. And it's more passes.
I love Cooper Kupp. That's my guy.
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 weeks he's been better, obviously, 14.5 last week and 18.5 the week before that at Dallas this week. So a better matchup, although week 16 you're a little worried because they've got San Francisco again. And then they finish off the season with Arizona, which I don't know how many leagues go into playoffs into week 17, but I'm sure that there's a couple.
That one IDP league I was telling you about goes to week 17. Very weird to me.
Yeah. It happens. Can't we just have I get why we don't want fantasy football to go away. We wait all year for it and we look forward to it so much. But I think by week 16, you're just like, take me out back and shoot me. I'm done. Like the exhaustion of the emotions that go with each game. Like it's so much anxiety.
It really is. It's a stressful time of the year for me.
I take melatonin to go to sleep at night. I'm just up at night, like wondering if I made the right choice.
I just went to Publix to buy melatonin. I love melatonin. I'm in.
Yes, it's amazing. It's definitely good. It's the good stuff. It helps me sleep all the time. It's fantastic. Yeah. And Nick saying, what up to you, Levy? Well, thank you for joining us. And one for me, Sam, your art is looking awesome on IG. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. I've been trying to draw and create more things lately.
You are killing it. That's a talent. I don't know how you do it.
It's, I went to school for it.
I can't even draw a tree.
I hear that a lot. Not necessarily the tree. Mostly I hear I can't even draw a stick figure, which I think is funny because everyone can draw a stick figure. Whether or not your stick figure looks like it's, having a seizure or not is just on you. But everyone can draw at least a stick figure. You can. It's not like an amazing one, but you can. I know you can.
All right.
Yeah, but I try and keep up with my art. So if you guys ever want to see that, it's at Sam_awesome on Instagram. So I definitely try and post more. Tim with one more for us. Worried about Connor and Jacobs PPR. Pick 1 running back and 1 flex. Connor, Jacobs, Melvin Gordon, Barkley, AJ Brown, Gallup. Well, immediately Gallup drops off that list.
Yeah. Pick 1 RBR, 1 RB, 1 flex. How do you feel about Connor this week? I mean, I got to get.
He's had a lot of little dings here and there all season, so I'm not 100% confident. And again, they do have the Bills, which is a tough defense. So I don't know that this is the week that I want to see how they do, see how he does, should I say. So I might actually, I mean, if you've kept Connor in your league this long, obviously, you've been winning and you got there with other people.
Yeah.
So you can afford to sit him one more week just to see how he does and then fully know if he's 100% healthy or not. And then, I mean, I'm worried about Jacobs too. So, I mean, definitely check the inactives and see if he's playing. But otherwise, I would go Melvin Gordon and Barkley just off the top.
There you go, Sam. I wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy here. I just want to go with the safe 2 players, right?
Yeah, got to pick the safe ones. I mean, the ones that don't have the red Q next to their name. I mean, although I know that Barkley was hurt earlier in the year, he's not hurt now. He's just, not seeing the volume that he should be. So, I mean, yeah, you got to go with those 2.
Yeah, fire him in there, Tim. Good luck.
Absolutely. Terry, I love watching this. You're awesome, Ryan. Aww.
Hey, Terry. How are you?
So cute. Who's Terry?
Blushing.
Aw. So, that's awesome. Complex Legend. My team is so stacked, I have to bench Austin Eckler. Wow, you're just in here to brag, right?
I love it. Fair. I love the brags.
I've got Michael Thomas, Devontae Adams, Christian McCaffrey, Chris Carson, Zach Ertz, and Chris Godwin. Kind of insane how well my team turned out.
Yeah, I mean, that looks like a championship squad to me there, Complex Legend.
Yeah, I mean, good job for you. And again, if anyone that has any winnings, they want to Venmo me, because I don't get to win this year. I appreciate that.
Now accepting donations for 2020 buy-ins.
Yes, now accepting 2020 donations. I would appreciate that. Friendly Sam, if can make it to St. Peter's for be prepared for some Christmas movies. Questions. Oh gosh. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Okay. So I am going to watch it. I haven't watched it yet. I know.
I forgot that you haven't seen this.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm still sorry, but here's my thought process. And everyone on here already knows that I'm not a big Christmas fan. So it makes it difficult for me to watch movies that are outside of 5 days away from Christmas. I will watch it the weekend before Christmas. And you will all hear me talk about it. If you guys want me to, I'll live tweet while I'm watching it.
Yes, please. Have you ever seen Jingle All the Way?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. You've seen that at least. All right. Just want to make sure you've seen the classics.
No, I'm not a horrible human being. I'm a little bit of a horrible human being.
At least you've seen the Arnold Christmas movie.
Yes, there's explosions in that one. I'm going to watch that Christmas movie, crying out loud. Nick, I'm drinking a nice Moohoo chocolate milk stout. That sounds delicious. Ooh. Nick's always drinking the craft stuff. I like it. Will Jenkins with another one for us. Full PPR pick 2. Devontae Parker, DeAndre Hopkins, Keenan Allen, or Robert Woods. I mean, again, we're going to have to wonder if Parker is going to play or not, so you got to look out for that. If Parker doesn't play, which of these would you pick? I think I would go
Hopkins for sure.
Hopkins for sure. I'm just kind of going back and forth between Keenan Allen and Robert Woods, honestly, because Robert Woods is, again, if we've been talking about hot hands all night, he's been definitely gobbling up a lot of targets.
Yeah, the problem here with Keenan Allen, I went to Florida State and I hate Xavier Rhodes in the NFL. I just don't know what happened with him, but it seems that the Vikings just get torched through the air every single week. And no matter which way we want to look at it, there's still a lot of mouths to feed in LA, right? I mean, yeah. Bob Woods, of course, Cooper Kupp, Brendan Cooks, Tyler Higbee now is a major threat. So
yep, absolutely.
For that reason, I'm just going to go with Keenan Allen and D-Hop.
Yeah, I think that of the choices, those are safe. I feel like Robert Woods is still going to have a couple amazing weeks that are going to win some people their leagues. But I completely agree. If you're going to pick the safest picks of these, I definitely like those 2 in Hopkins and Allen for sure.
Good options, Will.
Definitely. Good drafting, Will. I feel like Will knows his stuff. And that's not an understatement.
Yes.
Chris, working from home tomorrow and still won't turn. Tough life.
What's up, Chris?
That's funny. Do you know him?
I do. Former
Oh
coworker of mine.
That's funny. I love it when
I'm bringing new fans to your show, Sam.
No, I love it when people come in and then just like totally burn you guys. Like there's people that come in and say something to Tate, and I'm like, I don't know what that's about. And he's just like, yeah, don't worry about it.
It's awesome.
It is amazing. Christian Witt with one for us. Miles Sanders or Mostert?
Oh, easy for me. It's Mostert all day.
Mostert.
Yes, it is Boston Scott season in Philly.
Yeah, that was interesting, right?
He looks
he did look good. Absolutely. I mean, that's an exciting player that for, dynasty, someone that you might want to just stash away depending on how many roster spots you get to put in your keepers. But no, I definitely, of these two, easy pick for me. Mostert has to be the obvious pick.
Yes. Love it.
Definitely. Tim Westby asking Packers defense, Seahawks or Steelers this week? Thank you. Let's see.
My gut tells me immediately to go with the Steelers just because I really like their defense, but
Seahawks at Carolina.
Just don't necessarily want to go against McCaffrey,
Not necessarily, but of their weapons, I mean, there have been weeks where you've been watching. I mean, if you're not watching that game and you're watching McCaffrey's stats, you're seeing how slow they are coming in. It's because there's a lot of really great teams that are playing some tough defense. So a lot of his points are coming a little bit later in the game. I might take Seahawks defense, actually.
Yeah, I think I'll actually agree with you here on the defense. Packers D's out for me. I don't. Yeah. I just don't love it. Yes, I'm gonna go Seahawks. I feel like they're going to be fired up coming into this game. They just got embarrassed.
They did just get embarrassed. It's a must-win situation. They're going to have some big defensive plays to make a statement that they're, not just in the playoffs. They are a top contender. So they're going to have to definitely make a statement.
Yep.
Christian Witt asking Miller, Tate, or Robbie Anderson?
Miller. That's my guy.
Yeah, definitely got to go Miller of those three. Pretty quick top pick for us. Nick, that's way I went to school at Clemson. No longer a bandwagon fan.
Man, must be nice to go to Clemson. I remember when Florida State used to be Clemson all the time back in the day. Back in my day.
Back in my day when I was growing up. Peter Roscoe asking us, Devin Singletary or AJ Brown standard league?
It's tougher than it should be, right, in a standard, but I'm still going Singletary. I just lean running back. I mean, AJ Brown only had 4 catches. I know he scored twice and had a monster game.
Yeah, no, but I agree with you. I mean, for me, I've just got to go Singletary. I think that it's just a little bit more consistent, kind of like his volume a little bit more, just kind of pushes him over the edge for me. And again, yeah, especially with standard scoring. Victor asking another defensive question. I love all the defensive questions. We've had a big swing of those tonight, and that's not very common. So that must mean you guys are going nitpicky on your lineups, which I really like. Got to win those leagues. Got to win them.
I love it too. I love
Victor J's asking Cowboys or Browns defense this week.
I'm going to go. I still respect the Browns defense, and I don't want to go against the Rams. So I'm going to go with the Browns.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I got to go with the Browns this week. Rams at Dallas. I don't know what's up with Dallas. I don't know what's gotten into the locker room, what's gotten into the coaches' heads, but something has bothered them, and it is definitely a thorn in their foot that they can't get out. So I definitely got to go with the Browns defense as well of those two.
Jason Garrett just needs to be fired already.
He does, and I think it's just like this awkward thing where it's kind of like you go to a party and someone brings their significant other and you're like, wait, I thought you were breaking up with them. And they're just like at the party and you don't know how to interact with this person because it's like, I'm not going to be seeing you next time there's a party. I know that for sure. So I don't want to be that friendly.
Yes.
Will Hayes, go Rams, Sam. Still a big Rams fan from St. Louis. I really appreciate it when people stay fans of teams despite moving. Oh, shit.
Look at that.
Who signed that?
Boy, Bobby Woods.
That's amazing.
I just got it.
That is so sick. How'd you win that?
So I do these things called razzes. I don't even, it's way too hard to explain, but basically, yeah, I won it. So pretty cool, huh? I've got several helmets, but it was cool because it's my first Rams helmet. Well, actually, nice. I take it back. I have a girly one too. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Jeez,
I'm into memorabilia. I really
like that. Does that mean that you have a man cave somewhere you are creating and decorating with all of these things?
Yes, I do.
I like that. I mean, I think that it's funny when, and it's because I'm into the stuff that I'm into, that my friends will complain about, you know, the things that their boyfriends or husbands collect of sports memorabilia. And I'm just like, yeah, I can't side with you on this one. I'm like, I'm trying to start a little something. I do have my own Rams hat that's got a Brandon Cooks signature on it. Got Les
go.
Snead as well. Got his signature. Got a couple little things there, but yeah, if I had my choices, I would definitely have a Sam cave rather than a man cave, and
There
it
you
would
go.
definitely be full of jerseys.
You got it going over there. It's coming along.
Yeah, no, it's happening. I mean, I've got my little closet, you know, booth where I do my recording for podcasts. The next thing is, you know, turning the entire house into all sports memorabilia, and definitely making it so that my mom thinks I'm never going to get married.
I love it.
Yes. Why do you like all of these things? It's just too good. Oh my gosh. Victor J's, put me in the Fantasy Focus League next year, coach.
I will put you on the list. I don't know how we're going to do it next year. It's grown so much in popularity. This 28-man league is insane.
Yeah, it is a lot.
We can't go to 36, so we might just have to have several leagues next year. But
Yeah.
Victor, got you on the list.
Yeah, no, I think that at this point it's so big you got to kind of split it up and then have different types of, you know, trophies and things for different leagues.
This is true. Yes, we will do that.
Maybe even a couple Hooters gift cards.
Yes.
Throwing this out there.
Yeah, I know a guy. You know, we can definitely make that happen.
Hey, as long as you know a guy, then we know we can make it happen.
Perfect.
Tim Westby with another question for us. Kyler, Fitzmagic or Derek Carr? Are you feeling the magic? Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like based on everything we've talked about earlier, we kind of got to go with Fitzmagic right off the top of this list. Like the volume, like what he's been doing, been most consistent. I feel like Carr is just not. Also, another player that has kind of underwhelmed this year.
Yeah, Carr. I'm not a Carr guy, and I know Kyler's been banged up with a hammy a little bit, so I think that's kind of affecting his ability to run like he should. But yeah, I'm gonna go Fitzmagic. Even if Parker's out, I mean, at one point in the first quarter last week, Fitz had 5 carries for 50 yards, so he's gonna tuck and run when he needs to. He's not afraid to take a hit to the head. I love the guy.
Yeah, gotta love that. Nick Bird asking, do y'all watch the NBA?
I just watched LeBron.
I love my Lakers, and what sucks about California and the way that everyone does their streaming and everything is it makes it difficult to watch games. So I'm lucky that I have DirecTV and I can watch it. But whenever I go and visit my parents and my dad wants to watch the game, he just looks at me with sad eyes because he doesn't have DirecTV and I can't plug it in on his TV. I don't know why.
Oh, I didn't even know that was an issue in California. I don't really watch much basketball. Just LeBron.
Just LeBron. And you just watch his highlights and then watch his Instagram for Taco Tuesday posts?
Pretty much. I am a fan of his Instagram.
Got a pretty good gram. What do you think about his son getting so much hype before, you know, doing anything?
I don't think it's good, but I mean, I think the kid's a freak. I hope he's a freak.
And I hope he makes it as well. I just like that he doesn't seem to quite be getting the ball son treatment that all of LeVar Ball's children have gotten, in that they've been hyped over, way overhyped. Their egos have been far inflated for where they're at in their careers. So at least there isn't that. I mean, it's also LeBron. I feel like he's a better dad.
Yeah, absolutely. LeVar Ball, I despise that man. He's
just
terrible human.
Horrible human being. What has he done to his poor children? My goodness. But mildly derailed. We'll get back to football. Ryan N. PPR question. Metcalf, Slayton, or Hollywood Brown?
I am not a Hollywood Brown guy. Too inconsistent.
You're not?
It's too inconsistent for me, especially on Thursday Night Football. I don't like playing people on Thursday night.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I always feel relieved on Thursday morning when I look at my lineup and I don't have to make a decision. That makes me feel better because I am very indecisive. But I don't know. I'm guessing we just have to pick one.
I'm actually going to go Slayton here.
Yeah?
I just don't love the matchup for Metcalf. I mean, the Panthers' secondary is pretty solid.
Yeah.
I mean, Slayton's got the best matchup.
Yeah, matchup based, I definitely gotta agree with you there. Because I was leaning towards Metcalf, but then I looked at the schedule, and I gotta agree. Yeah, gotta go Slayton of those three for
I mean,
sure.
Metcalf's my favorite player of the three for the record.
Is he your favorite player because of his performance or because of his chiseled abs?
Just because of his physical stature, for sure.
Oh yeah, mine too. I mean, who wouldn't love that?
This guy's a freak.
Can't teach that. Can't teach that. Physical freak. Tim Westby, last time I went with Sam and her Steelers, I got killed. I'm sorry. We all got hurt that day. But we just gotta go. We gotta go with weeks, week to week. Game changes. We just gotta go with what the stats say and not just what your heart tells you. Although most of the time my heart tells me that my Steelers are gonna win by like 50 points. So I totally understand that.
Love it.
Victor J's Trubisky throws for 250 yards and TDs. Buy it or sell it?
I'm buying it because I feel like they're going to be playing from behind slightly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still not crazy about the Packers defense. I know they've come around a little bit, but Mitch and the boys are playing. They got it figured out, it looks like. So
definitely,
I'm buying it.
I feel like you have to buy in at this point because clearly they're not trying to tank. They're trying to still, prove they have something to prove. And I think with that, you have to go with volume. And I think with something to prove in volume and just the way they've been playing, everyone's been more on point. I think you have to go with Trubisky. Absolutely. Showing at least those numbers. And to correct himself, he said he's thinking he's going to have at least 2 touchdowns.
All right. I like it. I'm in.
Nick Bird back with one. I have a Charlotte Hornets jacket from the 90s my dad bought me when I was a kid, and I took it to a home game and got a Del Curry signature on it. That is awesome.
That's really cool. When I was a kid, I was so I grew up in Florida here. I was a Shaq and Penny fan from the Orlando Magic. So I used to watch the NBA a lot more when I was a kid. But lately, I'm back into it just because of LeBron and all that good stuff. But
yeah, for sure. And I mean, I got to admit, I've been a lifelong Lakers fan, and as a lifelong Lakers fan, I'm a lifelong Kobe fan. And what does that go with? Usually hating the hell out of LeBron. So it's been really difficult for me. Last year, it was really easy for me to continue to hate LeBron because he wasn't doing anything. But this year, it seems like the whole team is now behind him, and it looks like he's really allowing the team to do the wins, and he's playing more of a supporting role, which I think at this point in his career is the smart move. Because I think it's going to help him with sustainability throughout the rest of his career. Because I think I could see him playing in the NBA when his son gets into the NBA, and I think that's what his goal is. So I do like
that. Would be cool.
That would be cool, right? I'm sure that's happened before, though. That can't be the first time that's happened.
Has it? I don't know. I know it's happened in Major League Baseball with like Griffey and Griffey Sr. and Cecil Fielder and Prince Fielder, I think maybe, or maybe not. I could be wrong on that one, but yeah, that would be really cool. I didn't even think of that. But yeah, I actually love Kobe too, Sam. I mean, I just really respect the freakish athletes, the really good players, like even Steph Curry and Kevin Durant and all them. So those are the guys that I'll watch. Like if they're on TV and there's nothing else on, I'll watch the guys that are just really good.
Yeah, another player that I think has that kind of, I mean, I'm going to say it, the Mamba mentality, the must win. He's got the aggression. Giannis. I mean,
yes,
he is amazing to watch. And I think another freak athlete, obviously well-deserved of his Greek the Freak nickname. So I love watching him play. So again, another game that I would totally watch if, I got NBA on, I want to watch this guy play because he's going to make some big plays. And it's just fun. I think the difference between basketball and football, getting to see just the athleticism of those players is, I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Ricky Nudo says he's going to trash you in the championship, Levy. Getting a little bit of shade. I like it.
I love it. Bring it on, Officer Dick. I'm coming for you.
Oh, my goodness. Do you think – okay, now you know what league he's talking about then.
This is the Fantasy Focus Listeners League. This is Officer Dick. He is a cop. He is out there serving protecting, so I tip my hat to you, but I'm not going to take it easy on this week. I'm bringing the heat.
I believe that for sure. I mean, of people that I know that play to win the game, Levy's at the top of the list. Take no prisoners. Will Hayes, pick one. New Orleans, Oakland, or San Francisco? I'm guessing these are defenses and not just immediate pick to win.
Right.
I mean, San Francisco, I feel like, is the easy choice there.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the Saints at home, but San Francisco, Atlanta just stinks. Matt Ryan doesn't have it this year. I don't know what's going on. I mean, Matt Ryan, all of his fantasy points come in garbage time every week, it seems.
Yeah, which I mean, garbage time is fine, but you have the entire rest of the game for the defense to pull in interceptions and make big plays and make big stops and get you those defensive points that you need. So definitely got to go with San Francisco of those. And Nick Bird is waiting for his Fantasy Focus internship.
We do need an intern next year, actually. Seriously.
I know. I feel like we've been getting that busy. It's kind of awesome. So, you know, we need to put up a link for submissions.
We do. We're going to put up, I promise you, in January, once things slow down a little bit, we will put up a application site.
Love it. And then I don't know if this is the same
guy. Same
guy. Just jumping back in, gonna trash you in the championship. Gonna trash you. So, you know, guys, keep with those questions. But also, if you have more burns for Levy on how you're gonna beat him in championship games, please throw those in there too. Love to read them.
People just want a piece of the champ, Sam.
They do. People just want to know what it's like. They gotta taste the glory. Tim Westby asking, standard scoring, already starting Robert Woods, but picked to wide receiver and flex. Kupp, Debo, OBJ, Kirk, John Brown, or Hunt. Is it safe to start 2 Rams wide receivers this week? Also, is Alshon done for the year? Thank you.
Alshon's definitely done. He's
definitely done for the year. I don't hate starting 2 receivers from the same team, but I think you have some good options here. I do like, honestly, I do like starting Woods over Kupp just because he's had a little bit more. And I feel like they utilize Woods in different ways than they do Kupp. I mean, he's definitely a really big target for Jared, but I know that Robert Woods gets some amazing rushing yards randomly and different carries, and they just find different ways to use him. So I like that. I think it's just sad how far OBJ has fallen that he is even flex consideration. What do you think?
Right. I mean, I'm not starting OBJ in this crew.
No.
I mean, I guess I'm a little confused with the question. If you need 2 and a flex in addition to Woods, then I would go Kupp, Debo, and Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
If you need 2 with Woods, I would actually go Woods, Kupp, and Debo.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna agree with you there for sure. I
love Debo.
Love Debo. Also, I mean, if you can't have Hunt in your flex, I like that too. Yeah, for sure.
Brown just doesn't have a good matchup, and it's already been proven now this year. When he doesn't have a good matchup, he doesn't succeed, frankly.
No, I mean, and there are a lot of players in the league like that, you know, it's all matchup dependent, but if it's a great matchup, they're going to be that big play and you can't not start them.
For sure.
Yeah. Victor with 1 to 3, Bill and Ted's Adventures, Matrix, and John Wick. So we've got a Reeves question here. If you had to rate these,
I will go John Wick, Matrix, Bill and Ted's Adventures. I'm not a big Bill and Ted's Adventures guy.
I mean, I liked it. I mean, yeah. But I mean, of those movies, I feel like for me, what I would sit down and would watch first easily has to be John Wick. Second would be Matrix, and then, you know, I'd round out the day with a Bill and Ted's. But I totally agree with your picks on that. I love that we're going to completely segue off of football now into movie questions because we get so many of those every week. And it looks like Nick Bird is going to kind of mirror our picks, although he's going to go John Wick, and John Wick.
Yeah, I just saw the third one on a plane, and I was like covering my mouth, like kind of yelling, because some of those kills on that are just brutal. It's awesome.
They're so good. I think what gets lost in the art of these action films is the art of Foley, which is creating sound when there isn't sound. So as they're filming, obviously you don't hear any of this, and they have to create all those sounds. So the sound they have to use to create a neck cracking, breaking, all of that is just so beautiful to me.
What is it called? I've never heard that before.
It's called Foley. And it's sound technicians are creating those sounds. So like if you're watching a TV show and you hear like footsteps, when they're actually on set, you don't hear that. So they have to create that and add those types of things in.
That's interesting. Learn something new every day.
Boom. Dropping knowledge. And Nick Bird has to say Kobe over LeBron. I agree.
I mean, yeah, I kind of agree, but I just love LeBron.
I mean,
better athlete.
Okay. I will give that LeBron is the better athlete, but you just can't beat that cutthroat champion blood that runs through Kobe's veins, the ice that runs through his veins, and all that he did throughout his career.
True.
Yeah, can't.
I won't argue with that.
Never, yeah, you can't beat that. Victor, big Raptors fan here. Kawhi just got his ring in the city. Massive MVP chant for the boss. I mean, he got his MVP ring, but after the win that they had over the Lakers for Game 1, I don't know that they're necessarily as big as they were hyped up to be.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, Kawhi's a great player too. I went to Toronto for the first time in 2019. I enjoyed your city, Victor. Good stuff.
Nice. Nick Bird, flex, full PPR, Singletary, Larry Fitz, or Marlon Mack?
Singletary for me.
Yeah.
I know Mack scored last week, but he still didn't look great, and that Saints defense is pretty good.
Absolutely. No, I'm going to agree with you there and immediately go Devin Singletary. I feel like that's going to be the most consistent of the three that's going to bring in the highest floor for you for points this week. And one more from Victor. Levy, what's your number one running back and wide receiver to play this week in your 5-figure league?
It's only 4 figures. It's a 5-figure payout, though.
Oh my gosh, like real technical difficulty.
I mean, if I'm playing in $10,000 buy-in fantasy leagues, I'm a happy man. That means I'm doing something right in life. Someday, Sam. Someday. My starting lineup, my running backs, I've got Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, and then my wide receivers. This week, I'm starting Chris Godwin and Allen Robinson and Deebo Samuel in the flex.
Like it. Love it.
So that's what I'm rolling with. I got Devontae Parker on that team, but I'm probably not going to start him this week.
Yeah, I mean, dinged up or not, I mean, even if he does get the green light, I mean, do you have confidence when you play a player like that has some sort of injury, doesn't practice a couple days in the week? I mean, they've been good the rest of the season, but you're in the playoffs. Do you roll the risk?
Not really. I mean, it depends what your other options are, right? But I have a question for you, Sam. Maybe you can help me decide. This is a 2 QB league, and I'm really all about the double dip, meaning like I have 2 QBs, right? I've got Russell Wilson, and I'm deciding between Fitzmagic or Minshew. Right now, I've got Fitzmagic in there, and when I say double dip, I've got Tyler Lockett and I've got Devontae Parker, both of them on my bench right now in favor of Deebo.
Okay.
I guess my question is, would you consider starting Minshew over Fitzmagic? A lot of money on the line here, Sam.
That is a lot of money on the line, and I'm looking at the tape, and I like the matchup. I think most for Fitzmagic, and though I do see that Minshew, is getting the start. He's obviously had some great games this year, and at Oakland, it's not a matchup that necessarily scares you. I think I've got to go with Fitzmagic there.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I hope that helps. I hope
you're making me feel better because that's what I got in there.
Good. All right. Well, at least I'm mirroring what you already did. Not like when we're going back and forth Sunday morning, like 10 minutes before the game. Who do I start? And that's usually me.
I know we get so busy on Sunday mornings. Like I have to do my lineups now, otherwise I'm screwed.
Oh, absolutely. And then I love that Victor throws this in there. You know that Tate is watching this back and screaming, Matt Foley!
Absolutely. I wish I could do that impersonation.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't. I'm not even going to try. Because that's his thing and nobody else. Nick Bird, no joke. Beyond the fighting, John Wick is action movie masterpiece. Beautiful cinematography, fantastic musical scoring, engaging character development, and the most badass I've ever seen.
Yes, I agree.
I think that I had this discussion with Derek once, and because we were talking about, film badasses, and John Wick, I mean, has definitely risen to the top. If you would say anything, he was a sleeper, that we didn't know would be as amazing as he is. But when it comes to action movie badasses, where do you line him up against the likes of Jason Bourne or any of the Bonds or, I'm thinking like Russell Crowe, a la Gladiator, any of the classics? Where would you kind of line him up?
Man, that's tough. Tate would probably say like Rocky Balboa for sure.
Sure. But I'm thinking more along the lines of action movies where even Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible,
like
where
killing people and stuff.
Yeah, like literally just the full killing people where I'm thinking, Jason Bourne kills somebody with a pencil kind of a thing. Like,
yeah, I actually think John Wick's probably my number one. I mean,
really?
he does some things that are like kind of blow my mind that I would never even think of,
Yeah. I think that I like Jason Bourne just a little bit more because I think he's just a little bit grittier. He comes from
Okay.
a deeper, darker place, and that most of his life is shrouded in mystery. And really, John Wick knows who he is. He knows at his heart and soul he is an assassin. So he
Yeah,
already knows that.
he is.
But it's more just like instinct for Jason Bourne that he does it rather than the full decisiveness.
I agree.
This is the hot take of the week. Nick Bird, do you pay DFS, Levy? Chris Carson seems like the free space this week.
Yeah, I'm in on I definitely play DFS. I don't play as much as I used to, but I mean, I at least throw $20 out there a week or something like that. Chris Carson, love him this week, especially with no Penny. I know Penny screwed a lot of people in week 14. That sucks. If you started him, I probably told you to start him in some leagues, but yeah, I love Chris Carson this week. Get Raheem Mostert in there though. I love him at 5,200 on DraftKings.
Definitely. And if you say his name enough, he will appear. Derek Tate. My name is Matt Foley, and I'm a motivational speaker. And that is the best impression I can do.
Tate really tuning in from work. I love it. I love it.
You should be at work. Don't get fired over this, Derek, though we appreciate you jumping in. And even Will appreciates your appearance. Will Jenkins jumping in there. Hey, Tater. Loving it. I feel like we've covered so many different fantasy questions for everyone this week. I mean, we even had a small itinerary to go over, but I feel like we've run through all the questions that I even brought up.
I'm sweating, Sam. This was intense.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions. One question that I do want to ask, as I was sent a message this week from one of our listeners, Dynasty Mike, who's a listener of ours, and he has his own podcast, actually, Dynasty Rewind.
Nice.
At Dynasty Rewind on Twitter, if you want to follow him. He's asking, should he start Curtis Samuel or Darius Slayton this week in his flex? He has a 10-team PPR league and 2 flex spots. So I have a couple of his other players that he's been juggling. So he has Michael Gallup, Mike Williams, and Allen Robinson in the mix as well.
So he's starting Gallup, Williams, and Robinson, you're saying, right?
So he's currently starting Curtis Samuel. And if you look at his lineup, he's obviously got 2 wide receivers and 2 flexes. So I feel like it's really pick 4 of the list. So I'll just run through the list again. So it's Curtis Samuel, Darius Slayton, Michael Gallup, Mike Williams, and Allen Robinson. So really of that list, you're just dropping off one.
Yeah, I would probably drop Mike Williams.
I agree. And that was actually my first pick too. I said he's managing a knee issue. His receptions have been so low. He's completely big play dependent. I mean, outside of a single touchdown he finally got last week, he is completely big play dependent. He's only averaging, 6.25 receptions last 4 weeks. Or no, that's I'm looking at the wrong stat. Sorry. I really like playing Slayton this week. And I think that because he's had the last 4 weeks so consistent, he just immediately pushes Mike Williams out.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I know we picked a lot of people over Darius Slayton this week, mostly due to the fact that it's still Eli Manning. I know we can point to last week in that juicy matchup against the Eagles, and he obviously scored 2 big touchdowns and this and that. But I mean, in this scenario, if I've got Mike Williams and Darius Slayton, I'm definitely playing Darius Slayton over Mike Williams.
Absolutely. And then I'll just run through these 3 players real quick that I just feel like if they're in your lineup, for me personally, I'm passing on them this week. Okay. And one of them, it has to be Sam Darnold against the Ravens tomorrow night. Again, we were talking about Thursday night picks and, who you'd like to not start. But I don't feel like I have confidence in Darnold against this matchup. This past week, he did eke out 21.1 fantasy points, but he had an interception against Miami, and that was Miami. I think that the Ravens defense is far stronger. And if you have other options because you have Sam Darnold on your, on your roster, you likely have other options. I would look to those.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. I back this fully, Sam. I am not putting my fantasy championship appearance in the hands of Sam Darnold against that stout secondary of the Ravens, especially on Thursday Night Football in a short week. No way. I'm out.
Definitely. Yeah. No, I'm for sure have to be out. And then I think I'm definitely going to be out on Joe Mixon this week against the Patriots and that defense. I mean, he did just come off of a great game. 23 carries for 146 yards and a touchdown, 3 receptions and 40 yards in that one, but it was against the Browns. So, I mean, tempered expectations for sure. If you have no other options, I get it. But if I had other options, I would love to bench Mixon this week.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I'm actually starting Mixon in the Fantasy Focus Listeners League because I don't have much of a choice. It's pretty much like him or Sony Michel.
Yep.
And Joe Mixon's just a much better player than Sony Michel. I know the matchup's better for Michel, but yeah, I got to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm with you. Hate the matchup.
Hate the matchup. And then this last one, David Montgomery only had 6.6 fantasy points last week, which is not even flex worthy. He takes on the Packers this week. Are you looking elsewhere at your flex position if you have been starting Montgomery in your flex?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking somewhere else for sure. I mean, if Raheem Mostert's out there, I doubt he's still out there, but I mean, I'm starting like AP over him. You know?
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. If I had to pick between the two, I'd play AP. I feel like the consistency is there. We know that I'm going to blank on his name. It was the rookie running back that just got hurt for Washington.
Guys.
Yeah, I second guessed myself. Yeah, I was like, wait, is it Jerry Guys? Yeah, it's Jerry's Guys. But if I had to pick between AP and David Montgomery, I'd go AP. Just the amount of volume that he gets week to week, and it's just more consistent. I feel like you have to go with volume and consistency at that position. And it's the playoffs. You can't get cute and think, oh, well, I've held on to them this long. Maybe. I don't think this is the week for that.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like Victor's got one more question there for us.
Oh, perfect. Well, let's quickly just say how much everyone's been missing Derek, and everyone's jumping in. Derek, people love you. The Tater. Everyone loves that you're here in the chat. The man, the myth, the Tater from Victor. Yeah. And Derek, Victor, I'm writing up my Kawhi Leonard return to the North to get his championship ring as my lead story at work. Miss y'all. Oh, we miss you too, Derek. Loving it. And Will Jenkins, thanks for the advice. You guys rock. Keep kicking ass. We will do so and keep trying. So we appreciate you, Will Jenkins, and all that you do for us. Victor, right about Serge Ibaka. How hungry are you? Were they touch or about his return? Were they tough? Victor, are you having a stroke? Are you okay? I can't read this. What are you saying? You're making me sound like I'm drunk, Victor. Do you understand what this means, Levy?
I have no idea. I just know it says Serge Ibaka and somewhere in there.
Yeah, I like Serge Ibaka though. Yes.
Victor's typing in Canadian over there. It's okay.
My goodness. Nick Bird, to add a woman to our badass list of people, I love Furiosa from Mad Max on Fury Road. Yep, gotta love that one too.
Good one for sure.
Absolutely. Victor, Ian Thomas or OJ Howard with Evans out, I have forgotten?
He's forgiven OJ Howard for his awfulness this year. Oh. Look, if Olsen's out, I'm definitely playing Ian Thomas. He looked great last week. And, you know, I know he's been disappointing this year. He hasn't been given much of an opportunity for that matter, but I like Ian Thomas. He's a good player. I know Tater's an Ian Thomas guy too. But if Olsen's out, I'm going Ian Thomas. If not, I'll go OJ Howard. Simple.
No, I like that. Keep it clean. I mean, you gotta go with who's looked good at the position when given the opportunity. And Ian Thomas is that. So I think of the two, you have to go Ian Thomas for sure. I just don't see, I mean, I don't want to end on a sad note, but I don't feel good about OJ Howard going forward, even next year. Like, I don't know.
I don't feel good unless they cut Cam Brate.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Brate got paid a lot of money.
So I don't think they're cutting him.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much that's guaranteed. I'm not an expert on contracts or anything like that. So one of them's got to go, in my opinion. You know what kills me? Not to say on a sour note, but the Bucks in that position could have drafted Dalvin Cook, and they drafted OJ Howard after Cam Brate had a monster season. Let's just go get another tight end. Why not? Instead of get Dalvin Cook. I mean, come on, you know?
Why not just shore up the position? Absolutely.
Just own the tight end market.
It's just like when it's your first year drafting for fantasy football and you look at the roster and you think, okay, I'll go down the list and just fill this out. So I'll get my QB first. I'll get my 2 running backs. I'll get my 2 receivers and get my tight end. Oh, now I get a defense. Like,
Yeah.
maybe think outside your box.
Or drafting 2 QBs in the first 10 rounds, something like that.
Yeah, you never know. Or you just think, it's going to be Vinatieri's year. Let's take him second. Why not? The kicker, man. He's going to get us all the best points.
Right.
Nick Bird saying, thanks, guys. Enjoy it as always. Thank you. We love it when you guys tune in and all your questions. This has been amazing. I feel like we have hopefully answered all your questions, but if we haven't, please go ahead and add us on all forms of social media at Fantasy Focused with extra D at the end on Twitter. I'm at Samantha R. Holt on Twitter and at Sam_awesome on Instagram. Levy, do you have any words to sign us off?
No, that's it. I am trying to be more active on Twitter. I know you're inspiring me, Sam.
Just use more GIFs. The GIFs make it fun.
I know. You're like a Twitter celebrity, so I'm trying. I'm more of an Instagram guy, so slide into my DMs just at Fantasy Focused. No extra D on that one. Someone stole my Twitter name like 10 years ago.
Oh,
so yeah, it sucks, but it's all good. It's all good.
Good. Well, thanks for joining us, guys, and love to join you every week and bring you more, good fantasy advice. And good luck this week. I hope you all win and move on to the next round.
Good luck.
Peace out.
See you guys.